Lesson 5B, we're going to talk about factor by grouping, okay? And this is the method that we use when we have four terms, okay? So remember, terms are, every time we see a subtraction or addition, that's a new term. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, okay? So factor by grouping, here's our steps, okay? First thing I'm going to do is split this four-term polynomial into two groups. Okay, and I'm going to find the GCF for each group. So just like we did in the previous lesson. So in this one set of parentheses, the GCF here is going to be 7. I could divide 7 and 28 by 7. And then they both have an x, and the smallest exponent is 2, so 7x squared. All right, so I factor out a 7x squared, and I am left with 7 divided by 7 is 1. I subtract my exponents, 3 minus 2 leaves me with just x. Over here, negative 28 divided by 7 is negative 4, and my x squareds are going to cancel each other out. All right, then I do the same thing for my second group. So 2 and 8 are both divisible by 2. They don't have any variable in common, so positive 2 is my GCF. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and I am left with just x. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. Okay, step 3, make sure the parentheses match. So x minus 4, x minus 4. I have to make sure I have the exact same thing in each set of parentheses. And then we say one factor is inside and one is outside. So what that means is I have what is inside the parentheses, x minus 4. That is one of my factors in my answer. All right, and then my two GCFs, the outside, 7x squared plus 2 becomes my other factor, okay? So one factor is the inside of the parentheses, and the other factor comes from the outside, all right? So in that example, my parentheses match perfectly and I didn't have to do anything. That doesn't always happen. So let's look at an example where they don't match, okay? So still going to split into two groups. All right, still going to find the GCF of each group. So for 35 and 40, the GCF there is going to be 5. And they both have an a, and the smallest exponent is 2, so I can take an a squared out of each term. So 5a squared, 35 divided by 5 is 7. Subtract my exponents, I'm left with 1a. Over here, 40 divided by 5 is 8, and my a squareds cancel each other out. For negative 28 and 32, the GCF there is going to be 4. So if I factor out a positive 4, that gives me negative 7a plus 8. All right, now my parentheses don't match. 7a minus 8, negative 7a plus 8. Those are not the same. So when that happens, we're going to factor out a negative 1 from my second group. Okay, so 5a squared times 7a minus 8, that stays the same. Everything in my second group gets divided by negative 1, which changes the signs. So now this is minus 4. Okay, negative 7 divided by negative 1 is positive 7. Positive 8 divided by negative 1 is negative 8. And now my parentheses match each other. So then just like we did last time, all right, one factor is inside. Inside is 7a minus 8. The other factor is outside. Outside is 5a squared minus 4. And that's how we factor by grouping.